go.
Actually, I got thinking I have a plastic helmet with horns on it.
Oh, come on.
I do, and I was gonna bungee cord the squirrel on my shoulder.
Stop it. Stop it.
I was gonna storm Bill's office.
and steal his laptop, please.
Yeah, but all we have to do is take our masks off and they'll stop him in his tracks.
That's a fact.
Yeah. We'll send him packing.
Yeah. Instead of tear gas, I'm bringing Lysol.
Ooh,
Spray it as you walk in.
you COVID bugs.
What time is it?
Yeah. So, Bill, I was looking for that email we talked about earlier from the WEC. I couldn't find it. Anyway, if you were able to find it quickly and send it to me, that would be great. But maybe was that Bill?
I did not. I'll look for it later.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I mean, she might not have actually sent it yet, so that could be a possibility.
Put your camera up, Councilman Hepner. Little more. Little more. Nope, to the right. Right? Nope.
To the left, left, left.
Okay. Smile.
Meeting over yet?
That was almost like a grimace.
There was a motion to adjourn.
Hey, we'll take it as a smile from him.
You got that right, Mr. Rose. You got that right.
Yeah.
Jackie, how come you're sideways?
I said that I'm being in Batman mode. Everything's going to be like a little
Off kilter.
off kilter. Bam, bam.
1 minute and then I'll start. 7 o'clock. Okay. So at 7 o'clock, I'm going to call the Woodstock Town Board business meeting of January 19th, 2021 to order. Before I get into resolutions, just a quick topic. And don't know if I sent this email out to you guys. I will, if I haven't already. But I got had some conversations with our bond counsel.
Uh-oh.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me see what the hell that is.
Yeah, good idea.
Did he say bond or bomb?
Right.
Richard.
Well, then the thing goes off. I don't know.
Andy Graham for Mr. McKenna. Andy Graham for Mr.
Just saying. You were
Land
in
shark.
our office today, Hepner.
Land shark.
You were looking pretty suspicious in our office today, Hepner.
I know. Did he have like a Telfar
told you
vest on?
Well, I told you to look over there. You didn't know what I was doing.
My father used to have us look at the three-legged man every time we drove past like a Dairy Queen or something and wanted to stop for ice cream.
Our scanner in the office was going crazy. So our bond counsel, Munistat, Mike LaGuardia, and you know, periodically they'll reach out. A few years ago when the interest rates went down, they reached out. If we have opportunity to refinance our long-term debt, our bonds. And there is one bond we have, I believe based on the year that it was the bond for the town hall renovation back in 2013. And we have an opportunity to refinance that bond for an estimated savings of about $28,000.
Oh my God.
I say no.
Over the life of the bond. So I think there's still about 10 years or so. So should I pursue it?
To save $28,000?
No brainer.
No brainer.
Do you need help?
Yeah.
Need help with that decision, Bill?
Well, you know, I like to reach out to you guys, make sure you're aware.
Let's see, $28,000, 5 board members. Yeah.
$2,800 or $2,000 a piece. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I will reach out and have a conversation with him tomorrow and find out the process, and email you guys and let you know what's entailed. And there is a cost to this, but the $28,000 is a net savings. It takes into account the additional cost we'll pay for the refinancing. So it sounds like a pretty good deal to me. Yeah. And along those lines,
does the bond still end at the same time? So it'll just change the rate, but it'll still end at the same time, or the end date?
Yeah, it'll end at the same date.
Okay, cool.
And there'll be that savings. So the interest rate is basically gone down. The other thing I mentioned to Councilman Hepner earlier today on the phone is one thing that we would want to consider. It's going to be a recommendation I make, is that we restart the process for the town hall or the Como renovation. I know that, last year with the pandemic, we put it on hold, kind of to give the taxpayer a little break and to see where we all ended up. It does look like the economy is still on solid ground. Money is pretty inexpensive right now, so we couldn't ask for much better conditions to borrow. And, it is a long-term commitment. It's 15 to 20 years that we're borrowing it. So, in the short term, we all want to, give the taxpayer a break possibly with the pandemic, but long-term, it might have the greatest benefit to move forward with that. So it's something I'll talk about with Mike as well. And, we should, over the next couple of meetings, discuss what we want to do with that project. So
when you say restart,
pick up from where we left off.
Well, I think we might have to go back a little further than that. I think it's been a year, so we got to pick up on some. We got to go back and look at it a little more.
Okay. Well, I would ask all you guys to start taking a look at that and try and come up with thoughts on how you think where we need to go with it.
Well, the tricky part is going to be, my recollection of where we left off was we were going to have a meeting where the walkers were going to come in with their models, the same models we all went and looked at in their office, have a meeting where they brought their models. And so the public or anybody who came to the meeting could be looking at the models and they would explain. It'll be a little tricky doing that because we're not in person at all. So to pick up where we left off, we were about to have a community meeting where everybody could look at the model, and then they could show, they had great models where they had, here's the building today, here's what this design would look like to pick it up, the other design looks like this. They were able to show all of very visually and very clearly, but I don't know how you do that in the Zoom COVID days. That's where I believe we left off, was we were going to look at the different models and get community input, and I'm not sure how we do that.
Well, that's something we'll have to think about and see how. Certainly we can do some Zoom meetings. It's possible that we could set something up, say, over in the community center, for a number of days where the public could come in limited numbers at a time and view and get an explanation of the project and what we're doing and taking a look at the plans. And I'm all in favor of that. We could also do a video that we could play on channel 23. When we did the town hall renovation, I know that I spent a lot of time on channel 23. I think on Sam Mercer's show, but Harry Baldwin came on with me once or twice. Lori Hamilton from Dispatch came on once or twice. Probably one of the judges. And, we talked about the conditions and what we were going to do, and we had the plans and whatnot. So, that's another option and way for us to reach out to the public. We could also...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, but even before that, I think Laura's accurate. That's where we kind of left off. There were a bunch of changes being made at that point. Because like Laura said, we had all met with Les on the plan. So we got to go back and we got to refresh our memories what those changes were, where we were at, where we were heading, and those types of things. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
It's been a year. I remember the stuff about the roof and windows and things like that, but let's make sure we're solid in what we're presenting.
I think we're all in agreement there.
I don't know.
No. I think we're all in agreement on what we have to review and take a look at.
Okay.
No, I didn't mean the specific
No, I agree.
project.
Yep.
So, okay, so let's all continue to talk with each other for the next couple of weeks, and maybe we could have a presentation in February to start the ball rolling again and get an even better sense of where we're at and what we need to recover and what we need to tweak. So,
is Reggie on? No.
Reggie isn't. He did text me and told me he's having an issue. Is Ashley, is Reggie having an issue getting on? Has he tried?
Yeah, he texted me and he said he had an issue getting on. He'd be in a couple minutes.
Okay, yeah, that's the text I got too. Okay. All right, I'm going to hop over to some resolutions then. Be it resolved to accept minutes for the meetings held on December 15th, December 31st, January 4th, and January 14th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And Jackie, just to let you know, as usual, for 2 of those minutes, I do have some markups.
Okay.
And Jackie, actually, I have a markup too.
You got it. So
I'm sorry, Jackie, but I don't have any markups.
I
wanted
Lauren.
to mark up, but I didn't have a markup pen. So,
And I love you too, Richard.
Lauren, the markup I gave her was that when she listed all the people I thanked for a wonderful year, she neglected to mention that I thanked my 2 big sisters, she and Pam. So that's what I want to see in the minutes. Be it resolved to accept the town clerk's report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Be it resolved to authorize payment of audited vouchers in the amount of $286,491.74.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Be resolved to transfer transfers per transfer sheet.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Hello, Councilman Earls.
Hi, sorry I had some technical.
No issues. You got on okay now?
Yeah, I should be good now. Thanks.
Be it resolved to increase the parking fee at the Rock City Road paid parking lot to $10 per day.
Second that.
All in favor?
Discussion.
Yep.
Can we, what's the sign say there now?
$5.
No, I know that's, yeah, okay. No, it should say something, I think, all day or something like that, $10 to let people know.
I think it does say all day.
That's what I'm asking. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it does.
Well, should there also be a sign that instructs residents, Woodstock residents, to know that they can get a sticker? People should know that, but if they forget, it might be nice when they come in and say, oh my God, I have to pay $10. They should be reminded somehow, I think, that if they're a resident, they don't have to pay. They just need a sticker from the clerk's office.
So I'm going to throw something out here. I'm not suggesting we do this, but just a thought. Keep in mind that the $10 a day goes to supplement the budget and help keep taxes down. It's a great income source because it's money from out of town that's helping town residents to have a lighter tax bill. I mean, we're not talking about a huge amount of money, but it's $60,000, $70,000. If we limit the number of free spaces in there, our income will increase. We do have the Mountain View parking lot, which is free for everybody. And we might want to consider that we just ask the residents to go over there. Now, I know initially there may be, some annoyance on that. I mean, even when I—
Oh my God, yes.
Even when who said that?
Was that Jackie? No, that wasn't
me.
Don't be diming out, Jackie.
I wouldn't look.
You'd never hear me say that was Jackie.
But again, keep in mind—
That is a good point, though. That's a good point.
It benefits the taxpayers to maximize the profit in that lot. And so is it worth we residents walking an extra—
No, not for the old people.
That's
okay.
Marilyn Master.
Marilyn, you behave yourself. Where are you? Anyway, something to think about. I'm not suggesting we do anything about it tonight, but we can talk about it more.
Bill, can I just mention one thing?
Yes.
I periodically put in the paper that the parking lot applications are for residents, that if they want to get a free pass to park in that, we put that in the paper. And the other thing is also the people that are working the booth right now. It's Melissa, does a great job. She instructs residents to go get the pass. If they come in and they say they're a town resident, I have to tell you, when that parking lot is open, we are inundated with people that live here that get a pass. So the residents know that they can get a free pass to park there.
Now, the other thing is that we could have a certain part of Mountain View parking lot to permit only for the residents.
I had suggested that.
That's a good idea.
They still get the pass or the sticker or whatever and keep it on their windshield or on their dashboard. And we set aside certain spaces in Mountain View just for town residents.
That's good.
That would require enforcement, however. You know, that's,
well,
I'm just putting that out there.
Just a thought, just to add on to that real quick, is if whoever the attendant is at the booth, if we put those spots, like, let's say, you know, in a really clear spot, so they can say, okay, we don't have any, you know, all the permit spots are full.
No, I'm sorry, Reggie.
No,
I think we're talking about at the Mountain View where there is no attendant.
Oh, got you. Okay, sorry.
In other words, but if you do that, you're going to have to enforce it, and people are going to have to get tickets if they park in a town.
That's an easy ticket for a police officer. He can ride up and down that road.
Yeah, might not even have to get out of the car.
Well, there's a little worry though too, and if we get to something like Volunteers Day that we're hoping is a real Volunteers Day this year, you know, sometimes that Mountain View parking lot does get full. So I hope we don't get too crazy blocking spaces off for permit only, because they may wind up having to be staying open, and there'll be open spaces so people that are looking for a spot can't find one because they can't park on those and they could be in.
Yeah, but a space is a space, whether it's in the paid parking lot or the Mountain View parking lot, whether it's taken or not taken, it's still a space.
Right, but it's permit only. We're saying the idea I thought was to make some spaces permit only, but if there's no permit only person parking there, then people that don't have a permit can't park there, and I do want to limit the number of spaces people can't park in.
Okay, so I'm gonna I'll
got you.
end that here for now. We can continue to talk.
Okay, I just had a little question about that. If I may, this is Felicia from Woodstock 104.
Oh, hi, Felicia.
Question about that is, what happens with that $10 fee, or the permits for that matter, for parking there, if the farm festival is going to be there, you know, starting spring?
Well, the $10 fee over in the the Mountain View parking, or the farmers market, is looking to go over to the Mountain View parking lot.
Oh yeah, that would be it.
Okay.
So,
thank you.
You're welcome. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Whereas pursuant to section 123 of town law, the Woodstock Town Board conducted an audit of the Woodstock Justice Court at a scheduled meeting held via Zoom on January 14th, 2021. And whereas the Justice Court personnel made available for inspection all dockets, ledgers, canceled checks, and bank statements and bail books for the year 2020. And whereas all said documents for the year 2020 were found to be neat, orderly, and reconciled, and whereas all questions about said records were answered to the complete satisfaction of the Woodstock Town Board, now therefore be it resolved to declare the 2020 audit of the Woodstock Justice Court by the Woodstock Town Board to be complete, and that monies received and dispersed by the Woodstock Justice Court for the town of Woodstock in 2020 are fully accounted for.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 I'm abstaining because I was not at that particular audit.
Okay. Thank you, Laura. Jacqueline, if you could make a copy of that and certify it, I need to send that off to the Unified Court System.
Okay.
Whereas pursuant to section 123 of town law on January 14th, 2021, the Woodstock Town Board conducted an audit of the Woodstock Town Clerk's office at a scheduled meeting held via Zoom. And whereas the town clerk personnel made available for inspection all ledgers and records of cash receipts, cash disbursements, cash checks, and bank statements for the year 2020. And whereas these financial records for the year 2020 were found to be neat, orderly, and reconciled, and whereas all questions about said records were answered to the complete satisfaction of the Woodstock Town Board, now therefore be it resolved to declare that the 2020 audit of the Woodstock Town Clerk by the Woodstock Town Board is complete, and that monies received and dispersed by the Woodstock Town Clerk for the town of Woodstock in 2020 are fully accounted for.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. You dodged it for another year, Jackie.
Now we got to get through the tax collector. That's the biggie.
Okay. That's
where the money is.
Whereas pursuant to section 123 of town law on January 14th, 2021, the Woodstock Town Board conducted an audit of the Woodstock Tax Collector's Office at a scheduled meeting held via Zoom, and whereas the town tax collector personnel made available for inspection all ledgers and records, cash receipts and cash disbursements, cash canceled checks, and bank statements for the year 2020. And whereas these financial records for the year 2020 were found to be neat, orderly, and reconciled, and whereas all questions about said records were answered to the complete satisfaction of the Woodstock Town Board, now therefore be it resolved to declare that the 2020 audit of the Woodstock Tax Collector by the Woodstock Town Board is complete, and that monies received and dispersed by the Woodstock Tax Collector for the town of Woodstock in 2020 are fully accounted for.
Second.
That.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 I'll be abstaining from the next one. So Maria-Elena, would you mind reading the next one? Resolution?
Yes, let me just put my cat down. Hold on one moment.
Oh, pretty cat.
So sorry.
That's okay.
We're up to the pursuant to section 123?
Yes, the fourth one.
The fourth one, okay.
The supervisor's one.
Okay. Whereas pursuant to section 123 of town law, the Woodstock Town Board conducted an audit of the Woodstock Town Supervisor at a scheduled meeting held via Zoom on January 14th, 2021. And whereas the town supervisor's personnel made available for inspection all ledgers, records of cash receipts and cash disbursements, cash reconciliation, investment records, indebtedness records, property records, interim financial reports and payrolls, canceled checks and bank statements for the year 2020. And whereas all such financial records for the year 2020 were found to be neat, orderly, and reconciled. And whereas all other questions about said records were answered to the complete satisfaction of the Woodstock Town Board, now therefore be it resolved to declare that the 2020 audit of the Woodstock Town Supervisor by the Woodstock Town Board is complete, and that monies received and dispersed by the Woodstock Town Supervisor for the town of Woodstock in 2020 are fully accounted for.
Second.
Second, oh. Yeah.
Aye.
Call the question, Maria-Elena.
Okay, be it resolved to amend
resolution. No.
No.
All in favor?
Oh, all in favor.
Aye.
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 I jumped the gun, sorry.
You read that very well, Maria-Elena.
You did. You did
might
a
have
good
a future.
job.
Thank you.
You might have a future as a supervisor.
I know that some of you might have loved to hang me out to dry with that audit, but I knew you wouldn't do it to Pam, so it's my ace in the hole. Be it resolved to amend resolution 15-2021 to read. Be it resolved to, be it resolved to hire Brian Galunas as HMEO for the Highway Department at an hourly rate of $23.20 effective January 15th, 2021.
Second.
So the resolution read to hire him for today, but he graciously called up last week knowing we would have snow over the weekend and said he'd be available. So he's already been out plowing Saturday night. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Be it resolved to authorize the supervisor to forward the proposed local law number 1 of the year 2021 to the Town of Woodstock Planning Board and to the Ulster County Planning Board. Second for purpose of discussion.
I'll second it.
So the local law number 1, the proposed laws are fill and grading law, which we've been working on for a couple of months now. I think we all agree that we've got it to a nice place, and I recommend. Email? Whoever that is, can you? Thanks, Ashley. So we are ready to forward it off to get opinion and to see what how they feel about the local law. So any questions on that before I call the question?
Well, I mean, so it goes to our planning board and the county planning board.
Correct.
And then next to a public hearing?
If we get it back, we'll take another look at it, see if we want to make any tweaks. I would start the seeker process and then, yes, to a public hearing.
Okay.
I will say that informally, Dennis Doyle has taken a peek at it and given me some advice and some help with definitions and whatnot. And I did reach out to Matt Rudikoff, and he took an hour or so and read through it. And I believe I sent you the email with his comments in the side on it. I incorporated those. So I think we're in a good spot right now. We'll see what they have to say when they do the formal read through. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I had another question, but
oh, go ahead. What's the question?
It just well, we can do it at the public hearing about local contractors and their input. I mean, I don't know enough about them. I don't know enough about fill laws or that type of stuff. You and Mr. Rose know better than I.
You know what?
I just want to make sure we're not shortchanging anybody locally. You know, I don't think we are, but I just want to, you know.
I did reach out to Mike Stock, who's been both an excavator. He's out of the business now, so he doesn't have a personal dog in the fight. And he's also was a town board member and a legislator, so he understands the process. And, you know, we had some back and forth that it was what I felt was very productive. I would encourage Councilman Rose in particular, who has a relationship with a lot of the local excavators, to reach out and show them a copy of the law, because I think we're all pretty committed to not wanting to see local guys get nailed.
Well, that's my point. Yeah.
Nail's not a good word. To get unnecessarily hurt trying to do small projects.
I've talked to a couple of them, and when I got done explaining to them what exactly we were legislating here, they didn't seem to have an issue with it. And I offered to send them a copy of the law, and they said no, thank you.
Okay, so, good. So
I guess that's
you know, personally, I think we're really, this law is, what it's going to affect is big earth moving projects. And quite frankly, it's going to create a situation where the homeowner, the property owner, is going to need to have a set of plans. And I think that's, in more cases than not, that's actually going to help the contractor to have a clear understanding of what he's doing. And you know, it's just not an arbitrary handshake agreement between the customer and the contractor. So I think
it's going to help the homeowner too. I think, you know,
I think it'll benefit everybody, but
you won't get into a situation like we ended up with.
Correct.
Yeah. Where are we with that, by the way?
I know that the attorney, the last time Lauren and I spoke to them, he was done with his depositions. He was done putting them together and getting ready to file. It's painfully slow. I told Vince that we really needed to see a plan. I think they're just about finished with the preliminary plan and should have that to us shortly. So, okay. Did we vote on that? Yes, we did. Be it resolved to appoint the following to the Town of Woodstock Cemetery Committee. Terry Reynolds, term to expire 12/31. And these dates are incorrect. That should be 12/31/21. Debbie Hasty, term to expire 12/31/21. Bruce Eckert, term to expire 12/31/21. Irene DeGraff, term to expire 12/31/22. Paulina.
Yeah, the dates aren't, they should be reversed, I think, actually.
No, they're not reversed. Let me just finish.
No. Finish out.
One. Kind of a subtract one.
Irene DeGraff, Paulina Quizamanga, term to expire 12/31.
Yeah.
2022. Bob Gordon, term to expire 12/31/2023. Ken Keefe, term to expire 12/31/2023. And be it further resolved to appoint Terry Reynolds as board chair of the Woodstock Cemetery Committee for the year 2021.
Second purpose of discussion.
Okay.
Go ahead, Laura.
No, I was gonna, if you didn't, I was leaving a pause so you could jump in there first. And I thought, well, maybe he's not gonna jump in there. Yeah, there you go.
I don't know how you came up with it, who was expiring in what year. Expiring is not a good word for the cemetery committee. I realize that, but
pull them out of a hat.
Yeah, I'd like to change some of that around, frankly. But you and I can do that in the office. I guess.
Amend this resolution then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That it?
That's it. If that's okay with you, we can do that, right? So, yeah, that's it.
Did you have a question, Laura, or something?
No, me, no. No, okay. I did not. No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Be it resolved to appoint Cornelia Rosenblum to the Commission of Civic Design, term to expire 12/31/23.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Be resolved to accept the resignation of Mark Plate as Town of Woodstock Assessor effective February 6th, 2021, and be it further resolved to thank him for his many, many years of wonderful service.
Second.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I have a question, because I did see his proposal, and I meant to ask you about this, Bill, offline. So I don't know if it's okay to bring it up here or not. But
yeah, sure.
I know that he had sent a proposal for a transition that included him as being in the mix, so he's not just disappearing totally.
Correct.
And I didn't know whether there was a final decision on whether we're accepting that proposal or what.
Well, it wouldn't be part of the same resolution. It'd be a separate resolution. And Mark he and I are talking. But that would be my recommendation, that we have some resolution that would bring him back part-time for some period of time.
Right. And
he's on board with that. I'm on board with that. It'll be my recommendation, strong recommendation to the town board to accept something along those lines.
Well, right. And so a transition, because it sounds like we'll need to have a long-term plan, right? Having him be part of the short-term plan does sound perfect to me. And then having a long-term plan to have a smooth transition. So with him being part of the mix, we'll make it a smooth transition. And so, and I would certainly like to say, I think Mark has been great. I know I've asked him questions. I've gone to him. He always has he always is a good listener and a good explainer of things. So certainly I appreciate all Mark has done.
So who's the new assessor?
Well, that's
we're not there yet.
He's only just announced his resignation, so we're going to be in the process of looking for one.
Mark's plan needs to somehow overlap with us bringing somebody in. We need both of them here at the same time at some point. I would think we just can't have somebody come in and pick up where Mark left off. We're gonna have to work that out.
You know, Mark has offered, and I'm glad he did. I mean, I'll accept it, that he'll even be part of the hiring process. That typically the way the hiring goes is the supervisor would make some interviews and then bring the top candidate or candidates to the board for an interview. And at least at that initial interview, I would want to have Mark there to explain, how he's operated for these 15 years. So
yeah, I'm saying, I'm sorry, go ahead, Reg.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I thought you were talking.
Oh no, I just thought we were getting into the weeds of this now,
Well,
and I thought we were.
No, I think what I'm worried about is that, Mark's put forth a plan, which we all accept and is okay. But just having him there during an interview, I think the new person coming in has to overlap with Mark going out, so the guy or the woman could get a sense of the office and go around with Mark and those types of things.
No one's disagreeing.
And the way that
So what I'm asking is then at some point, because I know it's heading towards summer, we got to think ahead of the game of bringing the new person in.
I'm already looking for a new person. I mean,
that's all I'm saying.
I'd love to have him hired next month.
I think I'm just trying to get the information.
Yeah, I think that I certainly agree with that, because Mark's proposal, for those that didn't see it, is that he would come in part-time. He's offering to work part-time, so he's resigning early February, but he's offering to come in and work part-time while the transition happens. So we really do need to, he is resigning as of February 6th, so we really do need to have a replacement as soon as possible. And I think, which is exactly what I think Richard is saying, let's have the replacement. We have the luxury of having Mark here to train the replacement, and then it'll be a smooth transition. And then someday Mark can go off to do whatever he had hoped to do when he fully retires from this position. But yeah, it's great that Mark has agreed to work part-time to help us over this time.
It would be really nice to see a smooth transition.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And there are a number of different options. A number of communities are sharing assessors. So that's certainly, I've reached out to a couple of the different townships to see if that's a possibility. Because assessing doesn't necessarily, especially if you have good office staff, and we do in Karen, that it wouldn't be necessary to have them in here. And even Mark has acknowledged it doesn't necessarily need to be a full-time position. I've also tried to persuade Karen, because I think she would do an incredible job. But I think she's heard my request too many times. She threatened me the last time, so I'm not going to ask her anymore. So
I think we didn't vote on. I think we didn't vote on that. I think we just talked, but we didn't vote on the. Or did we?
Yeah,
Jack will know if you voted.
Okay, Ashley, do we have any public be heard?
Nobody put in the chat, but I know that there are a couple of people here. Teresa Reynolds, it looks like, and Bill McKnight. I'm not sure if either one of them are, and Iris.
I just have one question to you, Bill. Are we going to resume the chair meetings? Remember, we were going to have one in December and then it got canceled?
Yes, January, we're going to resume them.
It is January.
Yeah, it's usually next week.
Can't put it by Iris.
Yeah, no, she don't miss a trick, does she?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it would be next Thursday for 4:30. Is that what it normally is? Yep.
Okay, put it on my calendar.
I'll send out an email to the board chairs too tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow's a big day.
Yes.
All right.
We hope it's a quiet day.
Yeah, that's what I meant when I said a smooth transition would be nice.
Yes.
So you're up, Councilman Rose. What were you guys doing ringing the bell? Tell the public.
Well, we Councilman Hebner did all the research on this and kind of came up with the idea. But we rang the bell to celebrate the first responders and frontline workers, and
the deaths. Yep.
And the deaths, and we weren't really actually celebrating the deaths.
No.
But recognizing
the deaths would be a better term, yeah. And our favorite frontline workers are all the ladies from Bread Alone who've been out there schlepping coffee to all these people, and they all showed up, and it was very cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't just ladies. I think it was a mix, right?
Well, it was Eddie. Yeah, he's the Salvadorian from the kitchen, who's just a great man, and we're happy to see him there. And Maria-Elena was there. I was disappointed you didn't get in line to ring the bell, though. That would have been fine.
Who, me?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I was taking pictures and video.
I know, but you could have rung the bell too.
I was documenting. No, the rope. I was waiting towards the end, but the rope broke.
Yeah, well, that was. We can't really get on Jim for that. He's the ranking geezer, and he's a first responder, and he puts more of himself on the line than the rest of us. So we had to just let him slide on the broken rope. We'll punish him for that later.
This is part of the national. We kind of caught on to it a little bit late, but so it was a last minute thing. But it's part of the national thing that was supposed to take place at 5:30 tonight.
Beautiful. Beautiful, you guys. I have to tell you, absolutely beautiful.
And I think they had a very nice small presentation down in Washington as well with the incoming president and the incoming vice president.
Yep.
Yeah, bells were supposed to ring across the country tonight, so I don't know if they did in town or not. But
I didn't hear any other bells actually. I was kind of listening, but no, it was a cool thing. It was and it wasn't like New Year's Eve cold either, so it was tolerable.
Yeah, good. You know, the thing on the Washington Mall or by the reflecting pool by Lincoln Memorial was very nice. I did catch that on the news this evening. That was very nice, very, very nice. And I guess the Empire State Building, the top of it was in red, and it was a beating heart because the lights flashed a little bit. So the Empire State Building is the beating heart. Yeah, very, very cool.
See, that's what we need, Mr. Rose. We need a beating heart on top of the bell.
Hard to find in this.
So what are you saying, Richard? You don't have a beating heart?
I'll get started on that right away. Okay. Does it have to be a human heart?
Well, knowing you, it probably won't.
Move to adjourn.
Oh, wait. Bill, I had some announcements, so we're
yeah. And I want to make one too after Laura.
Okay. So I had two topics. One topic is the library. As the library liaison, if you didn't know, the library has a new president of the Woodstock Library Board, which is Jeff Collins. So Dorothea Marcus is on the library board, but no longer president. And so, I would state my thanks for Dorothea for all that she has done. I think the idea of Jeff, who just joined the board within the last year, brings a fresh look and a fresh approach to things. And as he says, we're in a new phase now. It's time for new leadership. And so he's got some ideas of how to communicate with the public and how to do something about the library building, which I think we all agree it needs to be better. But Jeff Collins is the new president of the library board. And one of the things that they have done is they do have a schedule for community Zoom dialogues. And because they want to start out talking to the community and listening to the community. And so they have 4 dialogues, one of which happened yesterday. The other 3 are upcoming. So Saturday, January 23rd, 11 to 12:30, Monday, January 25th, 2 to 3:30, Saturday, January 30th, 11 to 12:30. And you can email info@woodstock.org. Woodstock, NY, of course, is the town of Woodstock. Woodstock without the NY is the library. So if you email info@woodstock.org, you can get invited to one of these and be part of the Zoom. And so they said they've got the 4 sessions, but depending on how much feedback they get, they may add more sessions. So they'll make that decision based on what happens. So we'll see where the library goes. It's a new team or a new team leader, similar team, new team leader, and I like the idea that they want to reach out and have these meetings. I did get a copy from Alex of that WEC response, so I will go ahead and share that. We had talked at a previous board meeting about, at a previous board meeting, I think Solstice was the name of the community solar company that came and talked to the town board and was hoping the town board would buy in to be kind of a spokes town for them in a way where they would come in and they would sell solar to residents of Woodstock with the town being behind them. And that was what they were asking if we would be willing to do. And Bill very smartly said, well, let's ask the WEC, our Woodstock Environmental Commission, to weigh in on this. The WEC did talk about it at their last meeting, which was the first Wednesday of this month. And I heard the full discussion, but the WEC did take their response and send it to Bill. And their answer is to pass on the offer. That's their recommendation, because they have a couple of issues with Solstice. One issue is when Solstice puts out all their, the solar energy they're marketing is from solar panels where the farmland has been converted to a big solar array. And their belief is it's a better idea to find other places to put your solar panels. Let's keep farmland. Let's not take all the farmland and convert it to solar. Farmland is a good thing, and preserve it. Another item that they noted is that the area where those panels would be is far away from Woodstock. It wouldn't really help give jobs, or it wouldn't be a community benefit from the standpoint of jobs. And they believe the town of Woodstock is a respected, valuable name, and we don't just want to give that name out to, if there's a really good reason, sure. They felt that for these reasons that they cited in the email, I can tell you the other conversations that they had while they were discussing it, that didn't actually make the email, was that they didn't see the Solstice company as being way far better than other companies. So if we were to pick them versus somebody else, we are putting our name where others kind of offered similar. But the other thing that they had said is, oh, it's really easy. You get into solar, it's easy to get out of solar. And they also talked, although they didn't put it in the email, they did talk about a website that talks about all the issues people do have getting back out of it. So some of the things they felt it was that we should pass on the offer. The WEC continues to be extremely committed in lowering greenhouse gas emissions and meeting the ambitious goals set forth by the state, but to do it in a smart, fair, and ecologically responsible way. So passing on this offer was the answer from the WEC. So that kind of closes the loop of the recommendation of the request Solstice made to us. That's the WEC's response, and I feel they were very thorough in looking at this from so many different ways. I support their response for sure, but I wanted to just let everybody know how that turned out.
Bill, do you know if the cell tower, if there's 3-phase current running there?
I don't know with 100% certainty, but my guess is yes.
Because if there is, the place to put a solar array would be California Quarry.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't even have to put in any piers. You could just pin it to the rock. You're not taking away any valuable farmland, and you don't get any more sun than you get there.
I'll take a look at that tomorrow, Lauren.
I've been meaning to drive up there and look at it, but I'm a geezer and a little marble doesn't hit the right slot every time. So.
Okay, I'll take a ride up there and see.
That's a very cool idea, though.
Once in a while, blind chicken pecks a worm.
So I also did send out a thing that I just got today in the mail from a company that's interested in talking about leasing town properties for solar. We have the landfill, which the issue there is that it's a single phase, so it's not conducive, expense-wise to solar. But if they could get enough panels up there, it might be worth their while. And again, that would be the developer's problem, not ours. So I'll reach out and see, if they're interested in that. And if they are, then maybe we should put out an RFP for that.
Lauren, cable had its head end up there forever. I'm pretty sure there have been lines run in there. So if you know where that little house was there by California.
Well, I know that there's at least single phase. I don't know if it's triple phase.
Yeah.
But yes, there's definitely, the electric is definitely run in there. Okay, Maria-Elena, you had something you wanted to share?
Yes, just one quick thing. I just wanted to let everybody know that we've started again with our Woodstock SOS program, which is the senior outreach services that I developed with Bill last year. So we're just reaching out to our seniors in our community and just making sure everybody's okay, and just reminding them about the Good Neighbor Food Pantry. And also eventually Emily from the table at Woodstock, she'll be up and running again too. But right now we just want to do a check-in with folks and just make sure everybody's doing okay.
And I would suggest if there are anybody out there who would be willing to make a dozen or so calls a week just to check in on folks, give me a call here at the supervisor's office and I can put you in touch with Maria-Elena and she can give you a couple of names. So, okay, anybody else have anything they want to add?
One last thing from me, the history hat. Ed Sanders has just completed a biography of Alf Evers, our dean, and I will be interviewing him sometime in mid-February through a Zoom presentation by the Historical Society, and keep an eye out for that. I'll be sending stuff out. I don't know if we meet before that again or not, but Alf, it's been almost 20 years since Alf passed away. Mm-hmm. And we want to keep reminding people that basically Alf gave us our history in many respects. So we'll be looking at that in February.
Richard, when you do that, why don't you let Ashley know and she can post that on the town Facebook page.
I will. Yep. Thank you.
Are you going to videotape that? Because, that would be something we could...
It'll be recorded.
Yeah, we might put it on a disc for Channel 23 as well.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. If there's nothing else, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that one.
All in favor?
All right.
All right. Good night, folks.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
And thanks for letting us record this.
You're
Have
welcome.
a good night.
Thank you. You too.